guys, this is Oshi, and today we're gonna go and take a look at the implications that this trial will, or effect, I guess, that this trial will have on, I don't know, the larger scale, on society, how things will gonna change, because what's happening in the mainstream media is quite an interesting thing. Or just, people watching the trial on TikTok, for example. And by that I mean those who just watch like 15-minute long highlight clips and think that they know what actually happened at the trial is it's quite interesting, because for me it would be okay if they said that, hey, I don't have time to watch the whole thing, and not everybody has a job that or just school or whatever that allows them to watch 8 hours of stream, or even sometimes even longer each day to watch an actual trial, but don't claim that you know what happened, because those 15-minute long short clips are out of context for sure. So there's a problem, there's a disconnect. But we will see how things will change. I will pull a few cards to see. I don't even know. I will start shuffling, and then we'll start asking some questions, and then I have the relationship themed deck, the building relationships oracle, because I want to pull a card on how to repair the relationship between the mainstream media and people, for example, or what's the problem there. Is there gonna be a chance for change, stuff like that. So, but okay, let's pull a card or a few, depends on what, on how the MeToo movement is going to change after this, because the main claim from the losing side is that now no woman is going to be believed, no victim is going to be believed, because she wasn't believed, even though this trial shows that the real victim was believed. So your argument is invalid in my opinion. But let's see how. Okay, the Me Too. Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles. That's a slow change, but a change into the right direction. I like that one. And the Word. Okay. So these two together for me indicate that there's a slow change, so the Me Too is slowing down, but not in a bad way, because when the Knight of Pentacles shows up, it's a knight that, yes, brings an offer, but it's taking its sweet time. It's not irrational, it's not irresponsible, it's a very short, slow and steady pace. And I think for a movement like Me Too, we had the initial fire burst, but now we have to slow down because there were casualties along the way. So I love seeing that slow, positive, moving forward, because like, honestly, just a personal note, I didn't think that the Me Too would be like cancelled because those who watched the trial would know that it helped, because it highlighted the fact that men can be victims, and sometimes the other side, for whatever reason, lies, and you have to be open about, open to the possibilities that not everything is what it seems immediately. And that's something that's hard to overcome. I think that's the hardest part, because when someone presents you a case and they claim and say that, hey, I was hurt, I was abused, blah, 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 you will believe them, because most of us are decent people who would never make anything like that up. And yes, that can be, used, but the solution is not just completely stop believing, victims and women especially, because that's still happening, but having a more open-minded and healthy approach to the thing. Obviously, we will see if that's even possible, but the word is also, normally I would say that finishing, closing off a cycle, finding your place in the world. But how I read the word card is not just those, but finally realizing how things are actually working, finally having that last piece of the puzzle, that you're looking at the big picture and seeing it how it actually is, and finding your place in that puzzle. So for me, this suggests that, and it's quite a victorious card. There will be, in the long run, a positive outcome because of this trial, because there's going to be a conversation. There is a conversation already. It's going to be a slow change, so there's going to be setbacks, obviously. There's going to be people claiming what they claim and maybe get away with it. Sometimes there's no cameras in the courtroom and you will know. But in the long run, there's going to be a positive way moving forward, which I'm very, very happy about it, because how things are in the world, sometimes, you don't get that. Or maybe you do because you live somewhere else, but sometimes I lose hope for humanity, to be honest. So at least in this aspect, there's some positive change coming. I'm gonna pull a card. Okay, the High Priestess just fell out. To know, if victims are going to be believed, or, doesn't matter, genderless, but I think, High Priestess, we will have to listen to, in this case, our intuition about the situation, and we have to believe that if something doesn't look right, it's not right. Also that sometimes situations won't be, most of the times there's no perfect victim. So all you can do is try to listen to your own intuition, but at the same time, differentiate between what's your intuition and what's your, mind trying to say based on previous experiences. Which is, I'm not saying it's an easy thing, but that needs to happen for some reason, or not for some reason, somehow. Okay, so let's see what else. What do I want to say? Is there anything I think that was the most interesting aspect, the long-term effect of the. Oh, I know what I want to do. Yeah, I want to pull a card for the mainstream media and people's relationship, because I'm kind of having a day with them. I kind of don't know why do they do the things they do. Maybe just for money, or okay, we have red flags. Yeah, we will have to see the red flags. And by that I mean when a side is claiming this and this and true, this and this is true, and I will prove it, and then they don't give you any evidence for it. So it's okay to ask for proof when they said they have it. So it's not like, we're not talking about victims here, we're talking about the mainstream media. If they claim that this case was, wrong, and the jury got it wrong, and we have all the proof to show you that the other side shouldn't be believed, okay, show me the evidence. And in this case, they can't, because everything was out in the open. If the other side would have had damaging evidence, we would have seen it, if in no other way than leaked, because they were saying that, Elaine, that evidence was suppressed. Okay, I mean, I'm not gonna say I know of whichever evidence was introduced or which not, but if you had something damaging, like an actual medical record or actual horrible pictures, you would have leaked that. That's just how it is. There was nothing. So going forward with the mainstream media, we need to ask these questions. You made a claim, I don't care your mainstream media, prove it. Give me the factual evidence. And I think, you know, that's gonna be, especially if you look at the high priestess crossing, you know, this card, you have to go with, show me the evidence. And sometimes there's not gonna be, and that's hard. But if some side claims something, you have the right to ask for proof. And you should, regardless of what you believe, because it's damaging for us if they can get away. Yeah, deception. It's damaging for us if they can get away with deception. You know, if you look at this card, this is representing like, oh, I'm such a nice castle, but it's not an actual castle. It's a reflection of one. And you know it because you're like, okay, something is not right with the picture. And in this case, obviously, it's easy because it's upside down. But sometimes you're gonna see the deception like this, and you have to be like, okay, but what is this, the part on this picture? Why is it? How is this a castle? And then you realize, okay, this is not a castle. This is just a reflection. And you have to be able to, you, and by you, I mean us, society, human beings, have to learn to be okay asking questions. I think that's one of the biggest problems. And the other one is, you know, there's passion, and people feel passionate about protecting others or political views because for some reason there was a lot of politics pulled into this case, even though it was not about politics at all. It was about a victim and an abuser, and that should have suppressed that. But for some reason it turned into all political bullshit, which I don't, just like, you know, why? Okay, money and whatever, but yeah, we need to be able to move past that initial gut reaction and slow down, you know. It's okay to ask questions. And that's a hard thing to say because a lot of people immediately say that, you don't believe victims. But that's not true. You want to get it right. And if someone is the victim, the way they're going to tell their story is going to be believable, because you can, if you watch the trial, you know how you felt between the two testimony, and that's how you can distinguish between, you know, what's right and wrong. That's where the high priestess and gut reaction comes in. But okay, so let's just put these aside for a second, and I'm gonna pull just a message to leave with. How to move forward, you know, us as viewers, as part of humanity, human beings, because it's, you know, I'm obviously not from the US, and I did watch the trial and I was invested in the result, because I did initially, immediately when that video was released, believed in Depp Heard. Why? Because I have a life away from these things, and the initial reaction was, oh my god, that's horrible, and that must be true. And it wasn't. So I wanted to see the truth come out finally. And I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I knew it from the start, because I didn't. And I think for a lot of people it was the same. You just hear something by, you know, in passing, and you believe it because you want to believe the victims. But it's okay to be open-minded, be practical, because the Page of Pentacles is the earthly elements page. It's someone who's practical, who's looking at things, you know, it was just like in the picture. It's trying, it is not afraid to look closer to something to decide what is it actually. It's okay to measure things. That doesn't mean, and obviously you have to do it in a very sensitive way, but it doesn't mean that you don't believe the victims. It just means that you want to do the right thing. And you know, the pages are not just open to possibilities, not just happy to learn, but they make mistakes because they are just starting the journey. They are the pages, not the kings. And that's okay for us, it has to be okay to say that I made a mistake. I believed someone initially because I thought that they presented something that was true, but then, something like this trial happened, or the audios getting released, and yeah, and then I changed my mind. And the Wheel of Fortune is not just about getting lucky to like winning the lottery. It could be, it's about the ever cycledness of life. It's about sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down, but all we can do is go and move forward, because life is moving forward with or without us. So, it's a cycle. All we can do is do our best. And sometimes you're gonna get it wrong, but sometimes you're gonna get it right. And sooner or later, we're gonna reach that end of the cycle, the word. Okay, let's first sign a message. Two of Pentacles. Okay. Okay, the main message is not changing. It's all about seeing both sides, doing our best, juggling every information, and then coming up with a solution. And sometimes, unfortunately, getting it wrong or getting it right. But that's all you can do, is try to juggle both sides. See, I love this illustration because it highlights that you can be one person, so to speak, and look at both sides of the coin and decide between which one makes and feels true. Okay, let's get one more. Relationship, new beginning. I love that. Okay, it is a new beginning. This is a new opportunity to move forward, to learn from. So it's nothing wasted. It's not a sabotage. This is an actual new beginning for moving forward to the right direction. Oh, you guys, okay, I don't shuffle on camera, but I mean, we have two new beginnings. Like, if this is not a synchronicity, then I don't know what is. But yeah, this is the new beginning. We have to use it right. We have to not waste it. But also, it's a confirmation for trust that this is a new beginning, and trust that we're moving forward to the right direction. And thank you so much for being here. This was so lovely. I loved the messages. It not just reflects what I was hoping to see and what I believe, but I think it's the way to move forward. But obviously, it's just my opinion and the cards today. Other people might disagree. If you do, let me know why and what you would like to see as a change. I think it should be an ongoing conversation, no matter which side you came from. Do let me know. And if you like this type of video, if you want to see more readings from me, do let me know that as well. Liking with this video, subscribing, sharing this with other people, because that not just helps my channel, but shows me that you're interested in readings like this. So yeah, thank you so much for being here, and see you in the next one. Bye.